Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Robert's Movie Talk. On this episode I will be reviewing two films, Divergent and Muppets Most Wanted. So we are going to start off with Divergent. Now let's talk about the goods about this film. The action in this film is really good. It's not really good, but it's pretty good. It's good for a teenage film, they're Twilight and stuff. I wouldn't put it on par with some of the last Harry Potter films' action, but it definitely had some pretty good action. It wasn't really until the end until they really got into the action, but I think that the action was pretty well done in this film. Also, Shailene Woodley's performance in this film, she stole the show. She was really good. She took all the emotions of the character Triss and made them all super good. She made the sadness, the happiness. She just captured that role, and I saw Triss instead of Shailene Woodley. And I thought that the tone of this film, it was on par. It stayed where it should have been. It didn't go from like this serious to like this, oh, silly, romance thing. It stayed a serious tone, which the book didn't do that well. I think that the book was better than the movie, but I think that the tone wasn't as good. And yes, I think that the tone of this film was very well paced. And like I said, the action before didn't really come until the end, but when it came, it was great. Shailene Woodley showing emotion, yes, so that is the good about the film. Now, some of the bad about the film. Shailene Woodley is pretty much the best actor in the film. The acting isn't that very well done. Especially for the character who plays 4, he's just a straightforward, just blank wooden character. It's like, yeah, and no, don't call me that. No, shoot. There was no emotion to him. And there were some actors that weren't as bad as 4, because I thought 4 was the worst. But I think that they could have definitely been handled better. And I think that it kind of dragged on a little bit at the end. Not at the end, more in the middle, when they were training. I feel like they could have cut a few scenes and not been so straightforward on the dragging of the film. I think that it could have, it was just a little lump of fat, and I think that it didn't have to be there. Overall, I didn't think that it was as good as the book. I think that the book inevitably was better, but I saw this film a while ago, so I don't have, again, the clearest vision in my head, but this is the vision that I have right now. So I thought that the action was good, and, overall my last impression on the film was that this was a pretty good rounded film. The positive outweighs the negative, and overall I give this film a 7.5 out of 10. I think that this is the best film that we saw all year up to Spider-Man. Yes. So now that that's over, we also have Muppets Most Wanted. And let me just start off with, this film is funny. This film is really, really funny. It stayed true to the original. That's another positive. And it was really funny. It was worth your time. And it wasn't only kid humor. There was more kid humor to it than adult humor. But there are some adult jokes that kids, tiny kids, wouldn't get. And I thought that this was a really good film that you will come out with a smile on your face. It stayed true. And you know what? This may sound a little funny, but the adult actors were actually really good. They were really, really good. They weren't amazing, but they were pretty good. There was Tina Fey, who I thought was great at it. Ricky Gervais, I don't know, who I also thought was good. Ty Burrell from Modern Family. He was also great. I thought that most of them all were great. And I thought that just for the funny essence of the film, it's worth your ticket. If I heard that that this film is worth the ticket just for the funniness, I thought, oh, only selected films can do that. But no, this film was really funny. Now to get into the bads, it kind of felt 30 minutes longer than it was. They could have cut out a little bit, but I thought that overall it wasn't as bad as some other dragging, like in Noah, when it was, I felt like it was an extra hour or two. This one just felt like an extra 30 minutes. And I think that, yeah. And, the songs in this film also, I forgot this out. I left this out. The songs in this film were also great. It's surprisingly a really good soundtrack as well. Like, I could listen to the soundtrack on a car trip, for like a 2-hour car trip. I could just listen to the soundtrack and be satisfied. They have some pretty good songs in here. But another bad thing is there was a few scenes that seemed a little over the top and a little cheesy, and those were the films that kind of dragged on, where it's like, yeah, okay, this wouldn't happen. I know it's a child's film, but still, I don't believe that this would have happened. I don't believe that at all. And I think one of the scenes is when the skit that they did on the escape night, some of those skits were just super cheesy and not worth, just, they could have cut them out and gone to the minor one, and yeah, I think that's how it should have gone. Oh no, I think I just spoiled a little bit, huh? It's okay. Anyway, and overall, my last impression on this film was that this film was interesting. I thought that it was a good film. It was a step down from the last Muppets, the original Muppets from, I think, in 2011. It was a step down from there, but this one was, I think, a really funny film. And overall, I give this film a 7 out of 10. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to ask me a question, just email me at pixar206@gmail.com. And this is Robert Burke of Robert's Movie Talk, out.